Right, welcome back guys. Today I got a very special video where I'll be breaking down how I made $12,000 trading Euro JPY. Now before we get into the breakdown, I just want to show you guys some proof of me actually entering this trade and making the profits that I made. Now this broker here that I'm using is Vital Markets, which is top tier traders prop firm challenge account, which is run by Q Banks. So you can see that over here is where I entered my sells, and I just rolled the market down whilst it rolled over during CPI. That's why we've seen such a huge gap because of the huge volatility that came into the market. And once I saw price start consolidating around this area, that's where I took profits over here. So if I just show you guys the history, you can see I took 20 lots on Euro JPY on my 200k account, and then I ended up making 12.2k. So to start our analysis, I went on the daily time frame, and I could see that on the daily time frame we're forming lower highs and lower lows. As you can see, I'm marking them out right here for you guys. So I knew that at this period of time over here, this would be our next phase of our lower high point before we see a further push down to the downside. Now you can also use a Fibonacci retracement tool over here to add further confluence with your overall analysis. So you can see that over here we're respecting this golden zone. So the way I like to trade Fibonacci is between the 50% and the 61.8%. This is my golden zone, and within this weakness over here is where I want to take sells to see a further rollover to the downside. So that was one confluence, and then another confluence which I used was this area of supply on the daily time frame, where you can see price started rejecting this area over here. So once I saw this, that's when I dropped down to the 4-hour time frame, and you can see if we zoom in closely that we're seeing several signs of weakness in and around this range over here. So if I go on the daily and draw that level of supply so we can see it better on the 4-hour time frame. So if we drop down now to the 4-hour time frame to see how it's reacting, you can see that it's reacting nicely with our area of supply highlighted on a daily time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame at this moment, this was our major level of demand in our uptrend, which has to get broken, which it has now, to then see a shift in momentum, a shift in structure, to then now potentially see a further rollover to the downside over here. Once I saw several signs of weakness and exhaustion at this area, that's when I dropped down to the 30-minute time frame. Now on the 30-minute time frame is where I highlighted my take profit levels, which were this area of demand as my first take profit level, because currently on the 30-minute time frame, again looking at structure, we are in an uptrend, with this being a higher low point and this being a higher high point over here. And then this is where you just got a lot of consolidation happening, followed by manipulation of this high before the push down. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, this is our swing low point and this is our swing high point over here. And until price can break this level over here, we're in an uptrend on the 30-minute. So at this level is where I moved my stops to break even, because there is some chance that price could just react off of this level and push right back up to the upside, because we are in a uptrend on the 30-minute time frame. However, since this did not happen and we saw a lot of volatility coming into the market, we broke straight through that level and then ended up pushing right the way down. So once I established my bias and I established my structural levels, this is where now I started zooming in to look for my entries. So on the 5-minute time frame, I waited for a break of structure, as you can see highlighted by this rectangle tool over here. We was in again a mini uptrend on the 5-minute time frame. Once we saw a break of that structure, I waited for the retracement to then look for sells to the downside. Now also on the 5-minute, I managed to highlight areas where I would be interested in taking profits. So these were my dotted lines where I wanted to take profits, but since there was a lot of volume that came into the market, I did not end up taking profits at any of these levels, and rather I just waited for price to start consolidating before taking profits around this region over here, which ended up in my favor, because taking profits here I would have left a lot of money on the table. So again, zooming in on the 1-minute time frame, this is where I actually ended up taking my entries. So zooming in on the 1-minute time frame, you can see that once price broke this level of structure, which was also highlighted on the 5-minute time frame, I waited for the retracement back up into this area of significance before looking for short opportunities. Now again, my stops were above the high of this 1 minute swing high point because price could come back up like it did to retest these levels before the push down. So if I get out the short tool, you can see that my entry was taken roughly around this point over here with my stops just above the high, and my targets were once price started consolidating after this huge push down, which was roughly around this region over here. Now if you go back to the MT4 account to compare, you can see my trade was taken on a 1 minute time frame. If I just get rid of the chart scroll tool, on the 1 minute time frame I entered roughly around this region over here once price came back up to retest those levels, and once price started consolidating, that's where I ended up taking profit as such. So in total, this was a nice risk to reward of a 1 to 5, which was a huge winner in my opinion on my 200k account. That gave me a huge boost of $12,000. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. If you guys have any further suggestions on what other videos you'd like to see, definitely be sure to drop it in the comment section down below. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time.